Hey guys, my wife told me that I had people camping down in my valley, so I'm headed down to check it out. Don't know what I find. Not the easiest of walking for me. This terrain is the worst you can pick for me to walk on. So we'll see how this goes. So let's see what I find. Be back with you in a minute. Well, so far this is what I found. Nice little teepee. Well, start of one. And the little chair came from my yard. Let's see what else we can find. Well, I made it down to the end, and there's no active campsite. I don't like it. I've had people breaking into my house. This is just one way, the back door, to get to it. Some of you might remember this. It's my good old stonework. It goes way up. So I'm not done. So got some more looking around to do. So be back in a minute. This is some more of that stonework. It's a culvert that goes underneath the railroad tracks. This was put here in the 1800s. It's really beautiful. Here's another look at that teepee on the way out. I think I've gone maybe about 1,000 yards, and man, if the shit hits the fan, I'm screwed. I can't walk. Right now the pain is off the chart. But again, here's some more of that stonework. And it still goes back another couple hundred yards. Back down through here. It's going to be my first time using the video editor. So I have to do this on my walking sticks because just on my leg alone I can't do it. There's some good design in that. It could be workable. But if I see it get beyond this stage, I'm tearing it down. One of the reasons I'm recording this is so I have something to give to the cops. I had to chase one guy out of my house today, 5 o'clock this morning, put a pistol to his head. Things are getting bad, people. Somebody tried to break into my shop. I think we're going downhill. Okay. This is my shop, and that window there, somebody broke out the bottom of the screen and tried to get in. But inside of my windows I got steel pins so you can't open it more than a couple of inches. So they might have thought they could get in that way. But that's where I just came from. And I am one hurting puppy. If you guys can help it, don't grow old. Be back. Well, back up to the shop now. Strange things are happening around people. You got young kids. They have no place to live. They have no job. But my leg hurts. I didn't think it was going to get like this until next year. But this shit's hitting the fan now. Just watched the video where the guy was out walking, and he found this prepper's stash. And I gotta plug this in. Other side. There. Like I was saying, he was out hiking and he found 3 piles of rocks. So he triangled the center, dug down, and he found a rifle and some ammo. So he closed it back up, covered it up, camoed it again. But the lesson here is, if you're gonna mark your cache, do it by GPS, or something that's not so blatant as 3 piles of rocks. It's not natural. Nature does not like regularity in shapes. So it sticks out like a sore thumb. So this guy found that cache pretty easy. But if you're marking your caches like that, I would invest in a cheap GPS and get the coordinates. And after you're done burying your cache, just stand on top of it, get into the coordinates menu, copy down the coordinates so you can just copy down and save, so that you can just go to that page and click on that cache, and it will tell you how and where it is. Or if you're any good at maps and compass, do it on a topographical map. I haven't been doing many videos because every time I get to making one, something else comes up. There's just so much happening so fast. Obama is, man, he's in high gear. We need to have that constitutional Congress. We have to get rid of Obama. My take on the Operation American Spring. It turned out like I thought it would. And everybody's going to say, oh, it's a huge flop, it's a huge failure. No, it's not. It's a start. This pisses me off to all no end, but when I was in Vietnam, they had the real protesters. And they weren't afraid to mix it up with the cops or whatever. It took them a while. But Nixon finally saw the light, and in the end, with the help of the protesters, not just because of, the Vietnam War ended in '75. If that war was right or wrong, I don't want to hear it. I spent 2.5 years of my life there doing what I thought was right. Just like the VC and the NVA, they were doing it just because they thought it was right. There's nothing good about war. I've been in many firefights and I don't want to be in another one. Anybody who's been in a firefight never wants to be in another one. And now I see that people are turning on the Gulf War vets. That's not right, guys. Just because you're an armchair keyboard warrior with no experience, period. You might have gotten into a fist fight in the first grade, and that's your extent of combat training and YouTube. Running around in the woods, it's not going to get the job done. Until you've been in my boots, done what I've done, seen what I've seen, you haven't a clue. I didn't go down to Operation American Spring because of the leadership. There was none. There was a man with a good idea, didn't have a clue how to pull it off. Just like Obama. He's a good talker. Lacks on experience. Can't believe there was a colonel. There was no leadership there. They organized it, but once they got on the ground, it fell apart. Everybody was sitting back to see what was going to happen before they came. And they saw what I saw, no leadership. Should have been run like a military operation. He is a colonel. He's supposed to know that stuff. He can't be that old that he forgot everything. Christ, just walking down, just checking out to see if there were somebody camped down below my house. I acted just like I was in the jungle 45 years ago. You don't forget. But I found out that if shit hits the fan, I'm expendable. Took me 45 minutes to do a 5-minute walk. I think about my younger days and think about how I am now, and I'm disgusted with myself. What I've done to myself. It's a sickening feeling. Not just getting old, but losing the ability to walk. But I can still think. I can still shoot. So, back to that cache. If you find one, if you dig it up, leave a note inside that. Or if you're carrying extra mags or something, put some in it. So when that guy comes around and checks his cache, he'll know somebody was there. In that note, you've outlined his mistakes. And if he's smart, he'll change the way he's doing things. I would even go as far as giving him my telephone number, so we could have a face-to-face. I've got a lot to teach. I've got a lot to learn. All this. It's not even 7 o'clock in the morning. Putting that gun to that guy's head this morning. I'll tell you the truth, I don't know who was more scared, him or me. I had no idea how he was going to react. Gun was locked, well, cocked. One in the chamber. All I had to do was squeeze. All he had to do was one stupid thing. Who knows how that could have come out? Don't like that. Got a 14-year-old daughter upstairs. Well, this is going to be my first attempt at video editor. So, I'll talk to you all later. Semper Fi. This old Marine, he's gone.